I'm sitting down with Ms. Maria Fay, the Chief Economist of the Sustainable Development Vice Presidency at the World Bank. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's good to see you here. I understand that you've been to Korea several times.
Indeed, I've had a chance to visit your country many times.
Yeah, many times. But this is your first time to be at Bixpo.
Absolutely.
So what is your impression of Bixpo?
It's very impressive. I was very taken by all the virtual reality and the robots and some very interesting things we've seen so far.
Virtual things and a robot.
Well, that's what impressed me and will impress my son, I'm sure.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. Could you give a brief introduction of your company?
Yes. So I work for the World Bank. The World Bank, as perhaps some of your viewers know, was created after World War II to help countries with reconstruction. And Korea was one of our first clients after the war. So we've been in a partnership with Korea since, I think, 1953 or 1954, just after the war.
Yes, right. The World Bank is participating at the Bixpo, and it is the first time, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. So apparently it's quite notable and it seems that very important. Yeah. So what has brought your organization, World Bank, to be here?
So we're very lucky that we are the beneficiary of a very large Korean trust fund called the Korean Green Growth Trust Fund.
Yeah.
And that Korean trust fund has enabled us to do a lot of knowledge exchange. As you perhaps know, Korea is one of the very few countries that escaped the middle income trap to become a high income country. And developing countries are extremely interested in understanding what Korea did in order to do that. And the Green Growth Knowledge Trust Fund has enabled knowledge exchange to have developing countries come here and learn about Korea. And so we're here with a delegation from 9 different Latin American countries who are here to understand some of the innovations that could help them, but also to share their own experience.
Yes, right. I think so too. So you mentioned that Korean, KK, is it right?
KGGT.
Okay,
Korean Green Growth Trust Fund.
Could you give us a more detailed information about that?
Absolutely. So this is a trust fund that has now existed for about 5 years. It is now, I believe, $88 million,
Yes.
with which we managed to leverage over $8 billion of World Bank lending. So thanks to the trust fund and the knowledge that it has helped bring to other work that we're doing in developing countries, we're really influencing the way that we're helping developing countries up to, as I said, $8.8 billion, so a very large sum of money. And it's focused on green growth.
Yes.
And the reason why we're so interested in green growth is because developing countries need to grow.
Yeah.
You know, the average income in a developing countries is $4,700 per person per year. That's not a huge amount of money. So they need to continue growing. But they cannot continue growing the way that growth has been done in the past. So with Korea's vision, we can bring a lot of knowledge to help developing countries grow in a different way, in a cleaner way.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. In terms of green growth, Korean government has been emphasized on green growth since 2008, I guess. So it has many big meaning for this exhibition. So can you give some advice for these exhibitions in the future, for the future?
So this exhibition is very interesting for us because if you think about green growth, one of the big challenges of green growth is climate change. And we know from the IPCC, the International Panel on Climate Change, which issued a big report a couple of years ago, that 4 things need to happen for us to manage climate change and to stabilize the climate. One is electrification, so cars becoming electric, these kinds of things. Another is decarbonizing electricity, so that electricity moves away from fossil fuels. A third one is reducing waste and increasing efficiency. And the fourth one is increasing carbon sinks. And that we see solutions all over this expo for all of these things in terms of decarbonizing electricity, in terms of increasing electrification. There's quite a few things on electric vehicles, lots on energy efficiency. And then finally, carbon sink. I believe tomorrow's day will be devoted to carbon capture and storage.
Yes, I'm also expecting for tomorrow. Thank you for sharing your expertise and your knowledge and also your precious time.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, I hope you enjoy the rest of your stay here in Korea. Thank you very much.
I will. Thank you.